Yeah, thank you very much for your very kind words. As you mentioned, I have been in Romania probably longer than most of you. I was here in the early 80s during very hard times, very difficult times. Who would have imagined 40 years later, even 20 years later, Romania is part of the West, strong part of the West, I would say. Welcome everyone to our timely forum. I think Oleg is going to say a bit more about what the Free Nations is exactly, what we've been doing. Thank you to Paneuropa Romania for organising our event, and special thanks to the Romanian Parliament for hosting us. And as you mentioned, I remember about 21 years ago, maybe switch off yours. There's some, I think there's some feedback. Yeah. I remember over 21 years ago when I was closely involved at the Center for Strategic and International Studies in Washington, campaigning to bring Romania into NATO, and was working very closely with both American and Romanian officials to make this possible. We are now faced, I would say, with a new challenge to make European NATO more effective in confronting Russian imperialism without the credible guarantee of US support under this current administration. And in this, I would say, essentially existential struggle for the future of Europe, Romania plays a very important role. And let me just outline, if I do have a little bit of time, I would like to outline about 5 points that we need to consider during the course of our deliberations today. There is a bit of an echo, is that?
It's the room.
It's the room itself, okay. I'll try and move this back. Okay, US policy. Let me start with US policy. I just arrived from Washington. I don't know what happened today. There could have been some new policy move, but let me outline what I think Trump is up to. The strategy, I'd say, of the Trump administration is undermining the survival of transatlanticism as we know it. And it is bringing Europe's long-term security into sharp focus, which isn't necessarily a bad thing. Trump, as you know, has demanded greater defense spending from all NATO allies. And the new Secretary of Defense has warned that US guarantees for Europe's defense are not permanent. This will have, of course, major repercussions for the war in Ukraine, or the war against Ukraine, for Russia's imperial ambitions, even beyond Ukraine, for the defense of NATO's Eastern Front, which includes key states like Romania, and for stability in the Western Balkans and other regions, not to be neglected. It is now, I believe, up to Europe, not just the European Union, but also non-EU states such as the United Kingdom and Turkey to conduct a major and rapid military build-up to help Ukraine deter and defeat Russian forces, and very, very importantly, to deter any Muscovite threats to their territories in the future. I would say most European states have failed to understand what's at stake by building up their military capabilities necessary to confront Russia in a conventional war. Poland and other states directly facing Moscow, the Baltic states in particular, have been warning for years that the West must seriously ramp up its militaries as the potential for armed conflict with Russia is mounting. Trump's threatened withdrawal from Europe has actually confirmed their fears. The future is now.